Morning. Thanks for joining us. We're back in Edinburgh after a couple of weeks working away in the States. The fringe is on, the sun is out for once, and before we grab 5 minutes before we get started, just to have a chat about the news that has caught our eye this week. Dave?
Couple of great news stories this week, but the one that caught my eye the most was the autonomous taxis starting, something that I thought was going to take a lot of time, about 5 years away. Seems to have hit us already. It's the other surprise is that it's not been in the States or even Sweden. It has been in Singapore with a company called Nutonomy, who are a spin-off from MIT, and they've beaten Uber by about a week or two, which must be a real kicker to them. I quite liked Uber's approach, though. They were working with Volvo, which I think is a brilliant brand tie-up. Both, if you haven't seen Volvo's YouTube channel, check it out. It's amazing. They do really smart stuff. Most famous, of course, being the Van Damme splits. But things like hamsters, a hamster wheel attached to the steering wheel, and they turn the truck with a hamster wheel going up the side of a mountain. It's amazing. So the idea of safety in Volvo and autonomous taxis is brilliant. But yes, it's here. It's coming a lot quicker than we thought. And the one bit that I'm quite sad about is that I'm not going to have bants with Uber drivers.
Yeah, bants. Your questions were useless. Though. How long? When did you start? How long have you been on? How long have you got going? Just maybe they'll put little robo drivers in like Total Recall.
But it is how I learn most about a new city, is getting an Uber and chatting to the different Uber drivers. So, a bit of a shame. What caught your eye this week? I
don't know if you class it as news, but there was a good article in Harvard Business Review, which always makes you sound like you know what you're talking about. It was by researchers at Bain on the elements of value. I think we kind of instinctively understand that the more value we can offer customers, the more value we can generate in revenue we can generate in return. But it's kind of there isn't really kind of a common language as to what value is. So these guys had identified 30 over some kind of pretty rigorous research, 30 elements of value, sort of building up from and stacked from like a kind of functional, emotional, life-changing, and then sort of the social impact, ways that you can deliver value through a product or a service. I thought it was great. It's kind of based like so many models are on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so you kind of use it in this.
It's got a good pyramid.
It's got a good pyramid, yeah. So you have to use it in the same way. It's a heuristic. It's not like an absolute law. But I thought it was really interesting, just as to kind of try and establish this common language that we can use almost as a checklist when we're working with clients or with ourselves to say, what are we offering the client, and they backed it up with some pretty rigorous research, looking both kind of looking at companies and the value that they offer, and unsurprisingly those that offer more value and moving higher up this kind of model are the ones that are seeing growth, are the ones that have got the best customer loyalty, and the ones that have got more propensity to try that brand. Have a look at it. It's in the Harvard Business Review September edition online as well, and we'll put a link to it in the comments.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it. That'd be great. Yeah. Neat.
Great.
So that's really our wrap up.
That's it.
It's
Friday morning. Let's get cracking.
Friday morning.
Okay.